CM 365, all about Carnatic music. Some Rasikas have been writing to me regularly to share something more about the Lakshanas of Ragas. So today I'll take up the Ragam Saranga, which is Janya of the 65th Mela, Mecha Kalyani. And it takes the Arohanam, Avarohanam like Sari ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da pa ma ri ga ma ri sa. Or there is another alternate Arohanam for this like sa pa ma pa, which is a very important phrase. So sa pa ma pa da ni sa sa ni da pa ma ri ga ma ri sa. So either way we see that here if you do it as sa ri ga ma pa da ni sa, yes, it does sound very much like Kalyani. And only in the Avarohanam probably you are able to understand the uniqueness of the Ragam Saranga, where it incorporates two varieties of the Madhyama, that is the Shuddha Madhyama and the Prati Madhyama. And this is also an example of a Ragam where you see that the Anyaswara does not occur just in specific phrases, but is inbuilt, I would say, in the Arohanam itself. Like for example, if you take some other Ragams like Yamuna Kalyani, or if you take Ragam like a Behag or Hamir Kalyani, there also we see that the Shuddha Madhyama and the Prati Madhyama both are integrally interwoven into the Avarohanam itself, and they occur as part of it itself in the scale to give you the characteristics of that particular Ragam. And it could also be said to be a Eka Anyaswara Bhashanga Raga, in the sense that only one foreign note has been taken here, and that is the Shuddha Madhyama and the Prati Madhyama coming together. So since it's a Janya of Mecha Kalyani, obviously the Prati Madhyama is its own Swakiya Swaram, and the Bhashanga note here is the Shuddha Madhyama. And for the compositions which are starting on which note, we see composition can start on the Shadja, like the Saranga Varnam. Inta mo di se ya. Or you can see starting on the Rishabha. Yenta bhagyama palagal ki devi, a composition of Tyagarajar, or the popular composition of Dikshadhar, Arunachala Natham Smarami, or a composition of Tyagarajar which starts on Panchama, Nivadane Gana, Nivadane Gana. This is basically a minor ragam, and you cannot really elaborate it beyond a point like you would do Kalyani. And here we see that generally there are no sancharas, unlike Kalyani, which can probably have the entire gamut of from the Mandrasthai Panchama. Generally we do the Alapana and other things to the Tarasthai Panchama. Here we see that the compositions gives us a guideline here as to the movements of the raga being limited to, I would say, in terms of the maximum in the mandra being the Mandrasthai Nishada, and in the Tarasthai up till the Gandhara. For example, if you take the case of composition Nivadane Gada, you see Nivadane Gada, Nivadane Gana, Nivadane Gana, Nikhila Loka Nidana, Nimesha Sani Sari. So here the Ni is the lowest note which is touched here. Or if you take in the Anupallavi, Deva Di Deva Bo Deva Vara. So it does not go beyond that. And in other compositions also probably you could make the study to analyze and see what are the maximum range that this ragam admits of. Now let us look at into some of the specific phrases which are distinct for this particular ragam, like sa pa ma pa, as I mentioned, as one alternative for the sarigama padanisa. That combination of sa pa ma pa is very distinct to saranga. Similarly, padani sada pa ma, notice sa ni da pa is the avarohanam, sada pa ma, or sagari sa re ni da pa ma ri. Like this you would see. Let us look into one or two swarams in the varnam. This will make it more explicit. Pa ma ri ga ma ri ri sa ri sa, pa ma da pa ma ri ga ma pa ga da, or pa da pa ma ri ga ma pa ma da pa da ni sa da pa ma ri ga ma. Just now I mentioned to you these phrases. So these phrases come quite frequently in this varnam, and also if you analyze the compositions you would see that. So thus we could also say that this ragam, the heart of this ragam lies in the avarohanam, and more so I would say in the purvanga portion and not on the uttaranga, because again sa ni da pa, till there you will see that it is almost again like Kalyani. So sa ni da pa ma ri ga ma ri sa, pa ma ri ga ma ri sa, pa ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ri ga ma ri sa, pa ma pa ri ga ma ri sa, sa ni da pa ma ri ga ma ri sa, sa da pa ma ri ga ma ri sa. So obviously this rigamarisa has to be sung repeatedly through the course, whether it's in the composition or the manodharma, to keep reiterating the character of this Saranga Raga. CM 365, all about Carnatic music.